Human resources. There are many areas that must be considered in order to provide a safe work environment. Here are just a few that human resources and legal departments concentrate on in order to minimize the potential of active shooter and workplace violence situations. These are also areas that, if they are not focused on, could lead to liability issues in the event a situation should occur. These areas are generally addressed by all departments in the organization in a team effort to achieve the same goal. Ultimately, most, if not everything human resources do in regards to active shooter and workplace violence prevention is in an effort to adhere to the OSHA General Duty Clause. Proper hiring practices need to be outlined and followed. This would include conducting thorough background checks and extensive individual vetting processes. Human resources are responsible for the creation and implementation of organizational policies and procedures. Policies and procedures must be revisited and revised to ensure best practices and lessons learned are being applied. A proper complaint and open door policy needs to be established, and investigations need to be done and recorded. This allows companies to have a good see something, say something environment. This gives employees an outlet to discuss concerning behavior they may witness. Crisis management planning or emergency management planning must also be planned for. This might not be a function of human resources to develop, however, they do need to make sure that it is developed and updated regularly. Training for all employees on various emergency situations must be regularly conducted and monitored and also recorded. All levels of staff must follow company guidelines and performance levels must be documented. Employees not meeting standards need to be documented and they need to be counseled, retrained, and if necessary, terminated. Organizations must also have a termination procedure to include: how will the individual be terminated be notified? Cancellation of that individual's access. This includes computer systems, access cards, keys, and security codes may need to be changed. How will those that work within the organization be made aware that the terminated person is no longer employed there? This is important because if access has been removed and current employees do not know that the terminated person no longer works there, they may grant them access. Organizations also need to have a hostile termination procedure as well. Does the organization have on-site security to escort the individual off-site, or do they need to bring in security specifically to monitor the termination process? Several departments need to work closely to ensure objectives are met. As an example, human resources may lay out policy regarding workplace safety, however, security managers may come up with the procedures on how to meet those policy objectives. Companies must have an active shooter and workplace policy and procedures, which details how to meet those policy objectives. This is an example of a company's poor attempt at an active shooter policy and procedure. We will discuss policy and procedures in greater detail in the Prepare section. Not only is there a human impact of an event, but there is also a business impact. Some of those considerations are: how will the event and the company's response to that event affect the morale and performance of staff? What is the business continuity plan? Meaning, how will the company continue to produce its products and services after an event? How difficult will it be to retain current employees or recruit new ones? How has the event and the organization's response to that event damaged the brand or image? Will the customers return? One thing is clear: the cost of reacting after a serious incident has occurred is substantially more costly than taking preventative actions. So, why do we need preparedness training? Well, according to OSHA, more than 2 million cases of workplace violence are reported every year. And in 2014, there were 403 instances of workplace homicides. Shooting incidents in 2014 through July 2017 have steadily increased, totaling 183 events, causing approximately 425 casualties and over 1,300 deaths. Confirmed terror attack incidents in the United States have also increased during the same period, totaling 36 attacks, causing approximately 238 casualties and over 144 deaths. Additionally, per a recent FBI study, there have been over 160 active shooter situations in America between the years of 2000 and 2013. These active shooter situations have resulted in 557 injuries and over 486 deaths. These numbers are set to drastically rise following incidents subsequent to the study, such as the San Bernardino attack and the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando.